and then I add. See that?
Aha.
So
Oh, it didn't like
so
that.
close to each other. Let me turn the
Sensitivity
I'll
down.
turn the speaker. Yeah, but that's how it works. So I can have. I think I can have up to 10 people
Mm.
total. But hey, wait. All right, so I'm gonna kick you out.
All right.
I'm not gonna ban you. I'm just gonna kick from studio. That's what it says. There's a ban button. I don't want to ban anybody. Okay, so I emailed you a link, everybody, to a practice exam, and I want to go through that. So a couple of you are already on there. I'll share it. And you don't have to write anything on this, okay? I'm gonna do the writing, all right? So you'll just have a copy. Well, you'll have your own digital copy, and I'll put the answers on it. But let me see, where do I want to go here? I want to share a copy of Jim. Okay. Share screen. Okay. So this is the test I gave. Is there a date on it? A little bit ago. I don't know, a couple of years ago, maybe. So the first is a matching thing with the vocab. Match the items on the right with the noun that best describes them. So, Oma und Opa, or Opa und Oma. Are they a son and daughter? Mann und Frau? Well, they are that.
For the huge also, I was really confused because I didn't know what family they was talking about.
On the homework?
Yeah, he told me what it was in the book, but I didn't know.
Okay. Well, if you want to do it, turn in like that. I mean, I understand. Opa and Oma, are they Mann und Frau? Are they Vater und Mutter? They're both of those things, aren't they? Yeah. Let's skip the Geschwister. We'll come back and narrow it down. What is Geschwister best matched up with? I'm gonna do a very cool thing here. You'll all be very impressed. Geschwister, let's highlight that with gold. Okay, and what coupling there describes them best? Sohn und Tochter, Mann und Frau, no. Opa, Oma, no. Katzen und Hunde, nein. Vater und Mutter? Which one of those?
Peter and Schwester.
Let me see here. I can't get this. My screen's called. Okay. Is it on there? Bruder und Schwestern?
Yeah, it's not highlighted or anything. But...
There we go. F, okay. So Bruder und Schwestern. Yep. That's them. I would say so. Kinder. Mann und Frau, Oma, Opa, Vater, Mutter, Sohn und Tochter. Sohn und Tochter. Son and daughter are children, like in a family at least. Let's make them red. And we'll put Kinder.
Is this somehow going to be all the
I wish it were that impressive, because that really is something. Eltern. Who are Eltern? Well, Oma and Opa are Eltern, but Katzen und Hunde. I think directly Eltern, right, is Vater und Mutter. You're right. Vater und Mutter. We should make them green. Grün. Wait, where are we here? Eltern, okay. Eltern. Good. Großeltern. Großeltern.
That would be...
We've got Mann und Frau. See, Oma und Opa. So we got Oma and Opa both sides here. but let's make them blau, hellblau. Großeltern. Haustiere. Haustiere. Would that be Mann und Frau or Katzen und Hunde? What are Haustiere?
They're house animals.
Okay. So that's got to be Katzen und Hunde. I'm going to assume that we all agree on this. Okay.
And then
That leaves us with just that way we can narrow it down. Opa, Oma, Mann und Frau. That they are. Opa und Oma, Mann und Frau. Let's go orange maybe. Or whatever that color that is. Ah, this is fun. Okay.
it's kind of like government issue red.
It reminds me of University of Texas orange. Burnt
Yeah.
orange. I'm not sure burnt is really a word.
I think there's a color burnt umber.
Yeah, I'm just not sure that burnt is actually a form of the word burn.
I don't know.
In Texas it is, but maybe not in other states. But I think it is officially a word, but
It is a verb, the past tense of wait.
past tense of to burn?
Wait. So I type in burnt, it gives me the definition for burn.
Right,
Past
Because-
tense is burnt, past participle is burnt.
right. I don't think it's like, you've heard people say it before, just, yeah, I burnt my arm. They say it with a T on the end.
Yeah, I guess it's.
But they're spelling it ED though, right? I mean, burned. Anyway, okay, that's Oklahoma. Okay, now some possessive adjectives. Hope you guys are watching at home. Circle the correct possessive adjective. Well, the thing I'm showing possession of, I say possession, and that always sounds, it usually works, but doesn't mean like possession, like, things that you own. Possession can also show there's a relationship between two people or two things. Like, that's his best friend. Well, that guy doesn't own his best friend. It's not like a car or a computer. It's just a relationship. But anyway, this is sending here. Das ist, and the thing that's showing is Tochter. Tochter. So would it be meine Tochter or meinen Tochter? Anyone? Meine or meinen? What's the gender of Tochter?
Mine.
What's the gender of Tochter, though?
Master.
9. What's it mean, Tochter? We have Sohn und Tochter.
So it's feminine. I was thinking it was doctor for some reason. No.
Yeah, it's a daughter, right? So what would it be, meine or meinen?
Yeah.
Meine, right? It's feminine. Meine. Let me see how I can do this here without. I guess I'll just color the print. All right. Meine Tochter. Red is good here. Now, Freund is masculine, but here it gets tricky now. We've already got a subject. Wir sehen. We see. And what they see, or in this case, whom they see, is the direct object. We are doing the seeing. We see what? His friend. So now we're into the chart there, accusative masculine. So is it seine Freund or seinen Freund?
There's someone viewing a dog called Anonymous Fire.
Well,
Orange thing.
it's part of the tracer program in the vaccine that I got, I think.
Ah.
Yeah. Who knows? What about this, though? Seine or seinen? Now think about it. It's masculine, accusative. So if I look at the chart over there, those are the two that are here. What happens in a masculine? Look at it on the chart. What happens in a masculine accusative? Both of you are not looking at the chart. Guys,
Yes.
right, chart right there.
Is that one the same?
That's the same. It's always been the same. Masculine, accusative. You see it? Okay, so across the top it goes masculine, feminine, neuter, right? So find masculine is the first one. And then on the left it says nominative, accusative, right? So what's the word there in that blank? Yeah. Dane. Is there a smaller word above it? Oops, careful. Einen. So you're saying Seinen because look at your choices for the answer.
I said Zion.
I got you. But your choices for the answer in this one is Seine or Seinen. So what do you think the answer is?
It's Zion.
Seinen. Masculine accusative. We see his friend. We're the subject. We see something. Who is it? What is it? His friend. That's accusative. That's a DO. And that's the answer. Okay. Here we go. Mutter. What's the gender of Mutter? Take a guess. It's easy with these. Feminine. So is it going to be eure or euren? Yeah? Look on the chart there.
Oh, no. It's not. It's going to be.
Right. Anything feminine, for our purposes right now, anything you show possession of that's feminine is going to end in an E. So we had the first one, meine Tochter. Here it's eure Mutter. And that's because Mutter and Tochter are both feminine. So we'll leave that like that. Now, what about Oh, there should be an R right there. Schwiegervater. That's not spelled right. Ooh. Oh, no, I spelled it right. Sorry, I'm cutting it short. Schwiegervater, is that masculine or feminine?
Masculine.
Right. Well, I know it can't be deine Schwiegervater.
Yeah.
So it's got to be dein. Right. It's not a direct object here. It's actually, what do you call that? Predicate nominative or something. But I'll get into that later. Schwägerin, what gender is Schwägerin? Feminine. So I already told you there's kind of a trick to that, really. Is it unser or unsere? It's got to be the one that ends in E. Unsere. That's also true for plural words. Plural would, for our purposes, will always be E. The ending on the end of the possessive. And last one is plural. I just mentioned this. Bruder, umlau, that makes it a plural, brothers. So I just mentioned this. What's ihre or ihren? Plural always, well, for right now, at least plural is going to be ending in E. So it's feminine. So if the thing you're showing possession of is feminine or plural, you're going to put an E on the end of that possessive adjective. That was the case with, I think, the first one. That's this meine Tochter. Here again with Mutter, eure Mutter. Here again with Schwägerin, unsere Schwägerin, our sister-in-law. Okay. And then again with the plural, same as the feminine, ihre Brüder. All right, let's scroll down to next one here. Now this one, you've got to put together the pronoun and make it into a possessive pronoun. So think about this in English. I put this on the board a long time ago, but I, my, those go together, right? You, what happens to you? What's the possessive form of you? You own that thing. That is your, right. And we becomes, we own that house. It's possessive. Our house. See where I'm going? All right. So here's the example in the Beispiel's example. Ich liebe, I love, blank Opa. And I have do in the blank. But the possessive form of do is dein. And because it's accusative case and it's masculine, it's deinen opa. Let's try this then. Eltern is plural, parents. So what's the possessive form of ich? I think I just told you this, but what is it? Probably one of the first words you ever said.
Mine.
Mine. There you go. Mine. But it's plural, so what do I add to it to make it show that it's plural? Nine. Same as feminine, this one's going to be.
Oh, it's mine.
Right, so plural and feminine, again, are the same. Meine Eltern haben viele Autos. Ever saw what we're doing? Like with the word at the end of the blank, at the end of the sentence, and how that fits in with ich, mine. And here, like here, do, some form of dying. Here's do again. What's the gender of Schwester? Feminine. So, good. Up here it's deinen, but for feminine words, it's going to be like we did number one. Deine Schwester hat einen Computer. Deine Schwester hat einen Computer. Let me highlight that. Or everyone understand what we're doing? It's I've talked about it in the abstract, but now we're putting it to use. Now with she, sie, meaning she, what would it be in English? Say, she has that book. That's blank book. Her book, right. So in English it comes a little easier. Well, first of all, we have one big thing in our favor. The thing that she possesses, she has, ich habe, is, or the I have, is a cat. What's the gender of Katze? Remember? Nine. Feminine. Now, what's the word for her? Maybe you don't remember. It's been a while. Ear.
Oh, so it's era.
Ihre, because it's a feminine word, Katze. Now, when I say it's a feminine word, I mean the thing you're showing possession of. In this case, that it's her cat. I have her cat. And so, ich habe ihre Katze. That's showing her possession of the cat. Ihre Katze. Okay, what's the gender of Geschwister? Let me pull it back up here again. It's not feminine. Number 4, Geschwister. Okay, it's das, Geschwister. Now, because it's siblings, I guess because it could be brothers or sisters or both. Neuter. That may or may not be the reasoning. But so, I'm going to tell you the secret though. I'm going to write it on here below this little section. If the pronoun sie gets really overused in this language, it can mean they, it can mean she, it can mean you, formal. It has a lot of diversity in its meaning. Well, sie, let's make the formal. Sie, formal you. Formal you. Sie can also mean she, like it did here. So I'll put she, and I'll make this a small s. It's important. But then it also can mean, sie can mean they. But here's the thing about the possessive adjectives. No matter what the meaning of the word is, if the pronoun is sie, the possessive pronoun is ihr. You only capitalize it for the formal, though. The other two are lowercase. It's always going to be ihr. So they not only share the same word for these three words in the pronoun, but they also share the same possessive pronoun, only capitalizing the formal because it's always capitalized like that. So ihr, 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 sie, kind of makes sense. But So we'll go back to the one we were working on.
Use the restroom.
Yes. I'm gonna highlight that, and what color should I? That's very important, so let's do blue. I don't know why I chose that. Okay. All right, let's move up here. My computer's so slow. Okay. Oh, here we are. So number 4. So this word is, it's formal U. It's capital S. So here's my possessive pronoun. And we said that it's neuter, but neuter doesn't get an ending. It's just ear. Ear. Nothing else. No ending for that. So I will boldface and underline it. Let's look back at Studenten, though, is plural. And this is Z meaning they, but it doesn't matter. It's still going to be or ear, but it's plural. What do we say about feminine and plural words when we show possession of them? They get an ending. We get that much for sure. Ear, because that means there as well. But what happens to feminine words? It's the same that happens to plural. Up here we said, up here somewhere, we said Dinah. Look at the ending before Schwester. Schwester is feminine. What do we put on the end of that word? E. Schwester. So here it's going to be plural, same as feminine. We're going to add what? No, we see we added here. E, and Schwester is feminine. Right. Then I'm telling you, a feminine and plural are treated the same way. So here's a plural one, which I put here. What do we add for the here's the feminine one up here, Schwester, Dinah, Schwester. But here the word's different, ear, but what ending do I put on it though? What did I put on the end of dine? Dinah. What am I going to put here on number 5? Yeah. Irva. Exactly. Irva Studenten. Now this one too is feminine, and number 5 is plural, but I'll say it again. Plural and feminine get the same ending. They get E. So that's the thing there. Now with, here's another plural one. But look, the pronoun is do. And what's we can look back and see what we did earlier, like in the example, or here, number 2, or here we go, number 2 again. Do, what's the possessive pronoun? So do means you, but what's this word? If I say it in English, like, you have a car, hey, that's blank car. What's that word in English? You have a car. Hey, look, there's blank car. No, I'm talking about you. There's your car, right? So do and dine are related. That means you and your, right? So hold that in mind. So here's do again. Well, we already know what's the word? What's the possessive? Dine, and it's plural. So what do we say about plurals? Like number 5. Dinah, because Kinder is children, kids. So Dinah Kinder would be the possessive of this plural word. How old are, see what I mean? It's not like you possess your kids. Right. It's just that they're your kids. I mean, it's your girlfriend, your wife, your husband. The Alt Dinah Kinder. Good. All right. Now, this is on the board. I know at home you can't see this, but we're going to try this here. And I think I've got all 3 of these up here on the board. So yeah, so we have, I know if you're at home, you can't see it, and I guess I could turn the camera over here. think I'll do that. You have these endings, E, 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 E-N, E, E, okay? And then here we got ER, if it's an ein word in front of the adjective, and if there's no word in front of the adjective, just adjective and noun, then those endings are actually identical to these here. Yeah. Same. Okay, so the answers, maybe I can turn that. I don't think you're going to be able to read it though, because of the glare from the, I don't know how you're going to do that. And, well, maybe it'll be better to look at the, here, let me stop sharing this for a minute. You've got a link to it also. You can pull it up. I know, it didn't show it very well. Hardly at all. Here's how I zoom it in. Okay. Sorry, folks at home. We'll look at this tomorrow when you're here. Okay. So there should be no period there. All right. So I have adjectives in the blank here. And the first one is rothhaarig. What's rothhaarig?
Red hair.
Okay. And, or redheaded maybe. And Freundin is the thing we're describing, a girlfriend. And if I look at the chart there, if you can read that orange print, D, like die Freundin, see it says D blank Freundin. What happens to D? What's the ending that goes in the adjective? Can you read that up there?
And
E. So we're going to put in the blank here, this word. Rothhaarig, what am I going to add to that word? The rothaarige Freundin, right? The redheaded girlfriend. That sounds weird, but okay. No, not so weird, but I mean, not something to say every day. The rothaarige Freundin. Now another one with a feminine word, Schwester, but the adjective is different, klein. So since we said the rothaarige Freundin, what are we going to say about die blank Schwester? There's a pattern. That's where we can follow this E ending here. What's going to happen to klein? Again?
Kleine.
Die kleine Schwester. So die rothaarige Freundin and die kleine Schwester. All that matters in these is that the noun, they're both feminine. And the adjectives are different, but the ending's the same. Rothaarige, kleine. Sometimes you'll see like a list that kind of gets a little bit redundant, and you think that maybe they would like stop saying it or stop like adding it on. But sometimes they'll have like, if you really describe someone at length with a whole bunch of adjectives, you could say like
Is it still extra bad to get new markers?
Yes, always. Die blonde, intelligente, nette, freundliche. What else can I say about this woman? Die blonde, intelligente, nette, freundliche, whatever. One more, let's give one more. Rothaarige, nein, she's a blonde already, can't say that about her. Schlanke, Frau. So see how we have all these endings? Blonde, intelligente, nette, freundliche, schlanke. Just keeps going. And what we're doing is, that's the ending we're using right there. That E, feminine, tends to.
Does the dreaded section 7 ever change this?
No,
Okay.
only intensifies it. Now I see in this next one, the article in front of the blank is Dane. So you can kind of maybe start to make some guesses like what the ending's going to be on the adjective now. Whenever you see an EN ending like in Dane, what's going to happen there?
The next one will be different.
Okay, but what about this one?
Oh, it'll be Gute.
Dane, Gute. Look up the chart and you see Dane, the masculine accusative, on the top row. Can you read that ending?
Oh, so we always end.
So here's masculine accusative, masculine accusative, and what do we got there?
Okay, so it'll be guten.
Guten, right. So if you see den or einen in front of the adjective, you're going to put en on the adjective. So here, siehst du den guten Schwager, good brother-in-law. All right. Remember this word ledig? Remember this word? It was a vocab word, but it's been a while ago. Ledig is single. But it's a feminine word, die Schwester, like number 2. We called her die kleine Schwester. Now we're going to use a different adjective to describe her. But the ending's going to be the same. So what's going to happen to ledig?
It's gonna stay the same, isn't it?
Look what we did here with klein. Oh, can you see it on the?
No.
Can you see it on your computer?
Do
you guys have it pulled up?
So it'll be, they, how would you say that?
What are you going to put on the end? Tell me that.
Put an E on the end.
Yeah, ledige.
Oh, okay.
Die ledige Schwester. Die ledige Schwester. Let me just underline this one too. Den guten Schwager. If you'll just notice, you'll see, I hope you guys have this doc pulled up. You'll notice, look, there's an en ending on the end of den. You see that? Number 3. So that corresponds to the ending. And there's an E on the end of D. And what's the ending? E, right there. Okay. Now, look up at the chart. You see the word der on the chart? The very first word up there on the top.
So, intelligente.
Right. Just like in the long sentence, think die blonde, intelligente, nette, freundliche. Okay. Because if you look on the chart, you'll see that feminine also gets an E on the next to the der word, der, E, D, E. Intelligente works for the uncle also, the intelligente uncle, as opposed to your uncle that we all have that's not so intelligent, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Comes to Christmas. He's kind of invited, but you know, your mom's not happy he's there. Your mom blames your dad for what are your parents thinking about having a kid like that? This has been dropped on his head. Is this just me? Maybe I'm playing out my own therapy here.
It's actually kind of social commentary.
Yeah, we all have an uncle that's a little bit. You kind of like him though, you know, like he's entertaining. And maybe you like him. Maybe you like him because your parents don't like him a little bit, you know. But that's normal. He might have something to drink before he came over too. Maybe. Who knows? Okay, dear. I'm looking again at that word. What's the ending after dear?
Alte.
Right. So the ending up there is E. So we're going to make it alte. Der alte Cousin. I'm going to erase this out so it's not there anymore. The alte Cousin. Is it reading? I got to get Windows 2000. Gotta upgrade. Is that free now? Can I just? Okay. What's the gender of Tante? Just tell me right here. D. Is that feminine?
Yeah.
Look up there. D. What's the ending on D?
So it's going to be sportliche.
Die sportliche Tante. Just like on my long sentence. Die blonde, and I could have added sportliche. Die blonde, intelligente, nette, freundliche, schlanke, sportliche. Could have added that, just didn't think of it. So I'm going to add an E to it. This is out. Die sportliche Tante. Okay, here we go. Sehen Sie? I see the word D again.
Kleine.
Die kleine Frau. Die kleine Frau. You see the little woman? Kleine Frau. There's a famous novel in German, well, it's in English, but in German it's called Kleine Frauen. Plural. Kleine Frauen. You ever see it before? Or what, read that before? What's that mean?
Women,
What is it?
Little Women.
Little Women, right? Kleine Frauen.
You never read it, never seen the movie.
Well, the book's not bad.
Guess I'm missing out on that.
You know, it's not just for chicks. I gotta tell you, it's a pretty good story. All right, and now I see. Oh, now we're changing to these words. Ein, and my first one is eine. Only got one ending to work with there.
So it's going to be Schwarzhaarige.
Schwarzhaarige. Where's? I'm gonna fill these in so they're more readable. Here,
You need to get like fluorescent markers or something.
I need something. I need the ones that like you get a little like kind of fills brain cells. Those show up better on the. That's my experience.
I don't know why, but when they send the guy to teach you about drugs around the middle school, he tells you explicitly how to get high off of the Sharpie.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the worst possible thing to tell them
What are
about
they?
sixth graders.
why. These are the low odor. I want the high odor ones.
It's
You get extra credit if you need the high odor
brand
ones.
new thick felt tip Sharpie
Okay,
that like
Bring it
knocks
to
you
me.
out when
No
you-
more-
when you take
no-
the cap off.
no more talking in vain. Just bring it to me. That's all. That's it.
I'll try.
If you have to show your ID to get. So sehen Sie die kleine Frau. Okay, sie ist eine schwarzhaarige Frau. Notice that the ending's the same, but if it's we're looking at the second chart now. Feminine, it gets E. Look at this. It's E all the way. All the way. Feminine, E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's always going to be E for us right now. We can't say that about any other. Yeah, these are EN up here, but these are E, okay. Only feminine, very consistent, all the way down. The other ones, here's E, ES, and E, okay. Yeah. So feminine's easier. Schwarzhaarige Frau. Okay, now we're looking at a neuter word, das Auto.
So it's just going to remain cool.
Okay, let's look at the chart because there's the word ein in front of the blank.
Ah,
And what's our ending if it's ein? If it's neuter,
yes, so it's going to be Gudez.
cooles,
Gudez.
Das ist ein cooles Auto. The Germans have taken our word cool, made it not cool anymore. I'm still stuck back on eine schwarzhaarige Frau. Okay. Just waiting for my computer to catch up. Ein cooles Auto because that's what the chart says. And other reasons. Good. Let's do one more. We're running out of time. Now, then this is a good one to end on. Einen. Ich kenne einen. I look on the chart and I see einen.
So the human.
Einen Jungen. See, there's kind of a rhythm to this if you'll hear it. It may seem redundant, but die blonde, intelligente, nette, freundliche, okay. And then with the masculine, with the en, masculine accusative, einen Jungen. And this is really what gives German this kind of like, and other Germanic languages, this kind of like sing-song kind of feel to it. Like you hear someone else speaking it, you feel like their voice is kind of bouncing like that because when they start putting at den Jungen, you hear these like patterns subconsciously. Hey, it sounds like there's a certain like pentameter or something to this, or a certain rhythm to it. And there is, but einen jungen Mann, it could be more things. Einen jungen, freundlichen, netten, intelligenten, and you hear that, and it's not uncommon that people want to describe people with several adjectives, and you would hear that kind of bouncy sound, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. Linguistically, though, aesthetically, it's not unpleasing, I guess. But it does give it a certain, not just German, but also all the Dutch, Swedish, Norwegian, Danish, they have the same type of setup. Okay, we're not done yet, but I'm going to stop because we only got about 2 minutes for the bell rings. But we got one more thing to do. Okay, so hold on to that thing that I shared with you. Und ich sage euch auf Wiedersehen.